Welcome back to another episode of Void City Reviews and our show called Is It Good? I am Dan.
I'm Toast.
And today we're going to talk about one hell of a film, a cinematic accomplishment known as Fast X or Fast and Furious 10.
So the answer is no.
Well,
but
I guess
it's a lot of fun.
Yes. Okay, good. It was not good, but it was hilarious, and it achieved being entertaining. Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
It's entertainment.
Fun to watch, but it's not good.
No.
No.
That's the short version.
No, and we should talk about that. We made a list, so we can remember who all these damn characters are now, because there's 10 movies worth of characters who just refuse to die, although we'll get to that. They may be changing a little bit with this movie.
So of the main 10, not counting Hobbs and Shaw, I think I've seen 4 of them.
You haven't seen all of them?
No.
Oh, my friend.
I believe I've seen
Such a
4.
treat.
So the cast list is crucial.
Yeah.
And I believe, I'm just going to say this now, I believe at least I am going to be using character name and actor name interchangeably.
I do that all the time.
Because I don't know some of their names.
I'll do my best to try to steer the ship
Sure.
as far as that's concerned. I have seen all of them, many of them in duplicate, triplicate, multiple times, because they are on Hulu and FX or whatever channel it is that plays them quite frequently.
That makes sense.
And there's nothing else on during the day, and sometimes you just want something on in the background that's hilarious and ridiculous.
I actually believe I walked out of one of them. There was one, and this is like it was either the first movie or the second movie. I was with
that bad.
whichever girlfriend I had at the time. We went to a theater that was having a double feature. We were there for the first one and the second movie. This is what's weird. I can't even remember what we were there to see, but I remember walking out of the Fast and the Furious.
The first one?
It was either 1 or 2, and I can't remember which.
2 would be a lot more. Like 2 is the one without Vin Diesel. It's like just Brian. That's where you meet Roman for the first time. He's an old friend of Brian's, and that's how he gets brought into the mix. So that's pretty much the whole point of that movie, is just to
I knew from the
bring
beginning.
him in and learn that you need to have Vin Diesel. So what did they do after that? They made another one that didn't have Brian or Vin Diesel in it.
Yeah.
And they had the kid from American Gothic in it. If any of you guys remember that show, oh, that's taking it back. You don't even remember that? You're older than me. Aww.
I know that it existed. I never watched it.
Oh, it was such a good show. Such a good show. Wow.
So the first one, here's what's important.
Do you remember the scene that made you walk out? Like, what was so ridiculous?
It just didn't.
I'm just trying to figure out how one of those made you walk out of a theater, but you've now watched some of the sequels, which are just. I mean, they drove a Fiero into space.
Yeah.
And somehow came back.
I saw that one in the
They kind of skipped over that
theater,
fun part.
I think.
You've seen several of them in the theater, haven't you?
Yeah, but some I watched streaming. So here's the crucial bit. This one connects back to 4 or 5. The first one with The Rock.
It's number 5. The first one with The Rock. Yes.
Crucially, I've seen that one. Vitally important.
Pretty important.
Connective tissue.
Yes.
Recurring characters. Recurring scenes.
With new footage that didn't happen
that.
before. Yes.
Yes. 10.
10. There are 10 of these. There's going to be an 11 at least.
At least.
And they're talking already about 12.
Well, there's like a 10.5 that has to happen.
Well, you know there has to be another Hobbs and Shaw now that The Rock has nothing to do.
Which
otherwise.
is one of the best. The most ludicrous.
I mean, you can get Ryan Reynolds in there again. He's funny.
Kevin Hart was in that.
Yeah, surprisingly. I didn't expect that.
There were a lot of surprises in that movie.
Oh my God.
Anyway, 10.
Yes.
It's not good.
Clearly something's good.
My first bullet point is
It's like the only movies people go to the theater to see anymore.
Is about a ball rolling down a hill.
Yes, the boulder bomb rolling through Rome. Like a giant pinball where...
This is the first extended action scene
I have to go back and watch it again, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had actually gone in and added pinball machine bumper sounds as it was bouncing off of walls back and forth. So that boulder bomb, you weren't a fan or were a fan of that tremendously long action scene?
Two things, all right? First, from the trailer, I thought that ball was being driven by somebody. I thought someone was kind of inside.
Like a big hamster ball vehicle thing?
In my head, it was kind of more like Katamari. but basically, someone was driving it. Because it was...
So you thought they were going to employ that magnet from the previous movie? And he's going to start sucking shit up and getting bigger? What? Oh, we just thought about what's going to happen at the end of Fast 11.
It would have been a perfect opportunity to bring back that ridiculous giant magnet.
It would have.
But, so, I thought it was being driven, because even from the trailer, I'm like, this is traveling quite far. But then I see the scene.
It still travels quite far.
It's rolling longer than it should.
How big is Rome?
It should have stopped several times. There's one point where it should have stopped in a fountain, because it didn't have much momentum. There was a lip on the fountain. And I'm like, well, this is where it's going to stop. No, it just keeps going. And I'm like, this...
Yeah, I feel like one brick fell and it just suddenly had the same momentum it had at the top of the hill again. I'm like, what?
You're asking me to suspend a lot of disbelief. And where I'm losing it is a ball rolling down a hill. Like, what are you doing wrong?
And that was at the beginning.
Yes. So...
That was quite... And then the way they solved it, having... Vin Diesel, didn't he once again do...
He did pinball it.
Yeah, he hit it with the bumper on the thing, and then he went flying somehow sideways in the car onto the thing. I'm like,
causes there a tornado that he outruns in a car. so incredibly stupid. Everything about this is so incredibly stupid.
That's why it's great.
But I laughed my ass off.
Me too. I'm like, these are comedies, right? At this point, they're just straight up comedies.
Giant stupid grin on my face. I guess when my brow wasn't curled in confusion. So that just entire scene. But, skipping ahead, a bullet point. Radios. Everyone in a car has a push-to-talk radio.
Yes.
Like, why don't you have hands-free? Letty, however, is on a motorcycle. She just talks, everyone can hear her. I'm like, why don't you use Letty technology for everyone? Whatever she's using,
Letty technology.
Just give it to everybody. She has something.
She's ahead of the curve because she's always on a motorcycle and they can always hear her.
Yeah, why is everyone driving with push to talk instead of hands-free? I'm so confused. This is point of confusion number 2. It's still like the first action sequence.
I was gonna say something about how it has to do with if they use cell phones or something, reception might become an issue if they're driving fast or wherever they are, but it is mostly just stupid. I think you had a good point. Like, they did it in the old movies and it just looked cool, and so they do it because it looks cool.
Maybe. Because I don't know why else. It's clearly hackable because it gets hacked.
Everything gets hacked, and there's a chick with she can just, we're in range, whatever that means. Just that means I can do on my. You're hacked now, and then she can just drive the cars for like.
Every computer is hackable.
Take over your phone
in a movie.
Like
everything.
I could probably hack this chair. Like,
yep.
I don't.
Just give me a second.
Now it's a table. What? I hacked it. What can I say? So, Jason Momoa.
Uh-huh.
So he basically was playing the Joker in this movie, right? Like, that's what they said. They said, we want to make a Batman movie, but we can't make a Batman movie.
Who said?
The guys making this movie. They're like, everyone loves superhero movies, but we're not quite doing that. But we'll just make us all superheroes and have superheroes in it, but we won't call them their names, but they'll still be in it doing the things that they do. And I have evidence of that, at least for this movie. Further evidence.
I didn't get that. I didn't get Joker, and I didn't get...
But he's just so, like, all over the place. Every scene, he was just more and more wacky and weird.
Yes.
Hanging out with dead bodies, with tape faces painting their toenails.
I loved it.
Yeah, but like, what the hell was that? Like, what?
I don't know.
He's talking about when he fell off the bridge, he died for like 2 minutes. Like, yeah, you have brain damage, buddy.
I hope to see more.
What is going on? So,
like, Mamoa watched the other 9 movies, and he's like, all right, this is what it is. This is what I am now.
I'm just going to have fun.
Yeah, clearly.
I'm going to bring my own costumes, just fur coats and purple suits, pink satin.
In my head, his daughter is just off camera, and he's just playing with his daughter. In every scene, like actor Mamoa, not playing a character, he's just having fun with his daughter every scene. And she chose his wardrobe. Like,
well, you might have just made a lot of things in this movie make a lot more sense. I mean, it did kind of feel like it was made by little children.
But he's no different than any of the rest of them.
Who's them?
Anyone.
Like
anyone.
Yeah, I guess
they're
that's true.
all
They're
ridiculous.
all just insane. Yeah. But I don't know. My further evidence was the fact that they turned Jakob, Dom's brother, who was the villain of the last movie, very villainous, as you pointed out. Very dark, very just
serious.
Serious guy. Me, serious John Cena now. Like, killing people. I'm the spy. This is my world. And in this movie, he's Uncle Muscles.
He's a joke.
The hilarious babysitter who appears out of nowhere like Batman.
Hey, you want to talk about Fast and Furious? Coming in hot?
Oh my God.
No, I don't
Okay.
think so.
Oh.
Okay.
Fast and Furious what?
10.
Oh, okay. No.
Okay.
Oops,
Well, yeah.
He's seen them
We've
all.
come to that consensus already.
I mean, I had fun. There's parts of it that I liked.
See?
Well, yeah, there's always parts. You're only supposed to like parts of it. The rest of the movie is just excuse to get to parts.
Like, I think Vin Diesel is the only one that's taken any of it seriously anymore.
Is he? He doesn't even
Everybody
open
else
his
is
eyes
playing.
when he acts anymore.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
There's a scene where his kid's in like the barn at the beginning. The car rolls up and he's like, all right, everybody, here's your plan. It's like all like so intense, and he's just standing there like this.
Wow, I didn't know you guys were recording, so
Hey, little B.
enjoy.
Like, he doesn't open his eyes the entire scene.
And that was Wilson.
That was Wilson. All right.
I hope all that stays in.
I
hope there's audio.
I'll do my best. So, Jacob, he's now Uncle
Jacob.
Muscles.
Yes.
He's funny, but
Yes.
he shows up like Batman, just like bad guys start getting thrown through walls and you don't see who's doing it.
It was amazing.
And then suddenly he's just there and he's hilarious. He's comic relief. He's
I love that
all
fight scene.
upbeat, positive, whoops the hell out of all these guys, rescues the little kid, suddenly has kid sidekick.
What's the
Batman and Robin.
What's the body slam through the floor?
Yeah, he did his wrestling finishing move. They actually let him do it in the movie, like they had The Rock do in his first movie to Shaw. Yeah, so he got to do the attitude adjustment like to a guy through the floor, pretty much. That was fun. So then they leave in his little car with the kid, and then he's just driving around with the kid, who's his sidekick now, basically guy, uncle, and sidekick.
Yep.
Driving around, gets in a big plane. He's like, we're gonna go to my secret hideout. Gets in a plane.
And he has what looks to be
A canoe.
a canoe.
This is evidence number, whatever number, that this is actually a Batman movie. It's not a canoe. It's a full-on goddamn bat plane. It even looks like a bat plane,
It does.
a miniature bat plane.
Uh-huh.
It has bat wings. It has 2 little holes, one for a little kid, because he knew he was apparently going to have to glide in a bat plane with a kid out of a plane one day.
Mm-hmm.
So he had this thing specifically waiting for this scenario. And it just drops somehow out of another commercial airliner.
Yep.
How the hell did that work? They don't just have bay doors that open to release other aircraft.
Well, they start here's my point. Like, what? They're in California. They're on a plane. Somehow they wind up in Spain?
Yeah.
They wind up in Europe.
Yeah.
Like how? Where? What?
Where they go to his bat cave.
Well, there's
where he has a bat cave that looks like the bat cave.
And there's even a vehicle under a tarp.
There's a vehicle, a tank vehicle under a tarp. There's bats flying around. There's a platform with computer screens everywhere. There's a weapons wall. Like, he became Batman. And then they killed him immediately.
Probably not dead, though.
He might be the only person I've ever seen die, or unless they show that somehow he had some weird ejector seat and he launched himself out of one of those cannons. How did he not die?
Does anyone die in this? For real?
Not when we see them explode in smithereens. Notice everyone else, we didn't see them actually die.
Han and Letty.
What happened with them? Oh,
they both died.
Well,
they both died and came back.
Well, that is true.
And Giselle?
Well, I guess you're right. I guess Jacob could live because...
I skipped that one too.
Well, Giselle is the stupidest one. Let's talk about deaths in Fast and Furious. So, Han dies in the end of the third movie. Just at the end, just randomly. There's like, he's in the car, it blows up. And then you find out later on that was actually at another movie, because that was Jason Statham who did that to him. Something, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then you find out later on he wasn't even in the car. He got out and was standing behind it somewhere, and perspective made it so we didn't see that because Kurt Russell helped them escape. So, and then, Letty blew up in her car, but then later on they're like, no, actually she was behind the car and it launched her down a hill. She just has amnesia. And then Giselle, you saw Giselle die, right? No? So that was the stupidest one. They're on the back of like a car, and the car is like attached to a giant airplane that's trying to take off, and the airplane is flying down this runway that I shit you not is at least like 50 miles long, because this scene takes place for just minutes upon minutes upon minutes. They're just driving in a straight line trying to take this plane off. So this runway is so long. It makes no sense. And a guy's about to like sneak up on Han and like hit him. So Giselle sees it and she's like hanging off the back of this vehicle that's just driving. And so she like lets go, and in midair like pulls out guns and shoots the guy, and then just falls. And you just see her like fall into darkness, and then they drive, and Han's just like, no, okay. Immediately everyone just forgets. I'm like, so why did no one just go back and get her? She's just like standing on the end of the runway somewhere, like, are those guys coming back? Like, what the? We get launched out of vehicles every movie, every day. Vin Diesel does it with a sleeveless t-shirt on, lands on gravel, rolls around in it, falls down a mountain, gets up, has no cuts or bruises, nothing, nowhere, because of family. He doesn't have friends. He's got family. Yeah, so I don't get why they never... That was the dumbest death ever. So you're right. Maybe he's not dead.
He's probably not.
Teams. You have written down here, teams.
Yeah. It's just... And there's another one on there that I didn't even write down. But, so... One thing that I noticed, and I think I started calling it in my head the B team, which was the ludicrous Han Ramsey?
Yeah, Ramsey, Tyrese.
The four of them.
Roman and Han.
The four of them, like everyone basically separates off into their own teams.
You even wrote like 2 actors' names and 2 characters' names.
I did, yes. Because those are what was going to be memorable. Anyway.
But that is pretty much the teams they always split off into.
Like, just the plots wind up splitting up into these different things. And, like, Dom is very much on his own, even during the Rome scene. And then Letty's with Charlize. And then the 4 of them. And the whole Nobody plotline, I could not give less of a shit about Scott Eastwood and Ames and Brie Larson.
We're all leading up to the big reveal that nobody is alive somewhere. He's probably on that submarine.
I don't care.
With Giselle hanging out for some reason. And the reason is we couldn't get him for filming this week, so we'll bring him back for the next one.
Why do I care about any of
That's my theory about why these teams exist, is it's easier to get these 4 people together in this place and these 4 people together in this place at the same time, but not all at once.
Yes. Agreed. But your cast is too big.
Yes. And there's not enough for them to do that's...
No.
Yeah, that's why everything is just
like, their
ridiculous.
whole plot line was, we don't have any money and we need to get home. What? Oh my God. Let's run into European Pete Davidson.
Oh my god.
Damn it. We're gonna ship ourselves in an ocean container.
At least it wasn't what, Cardi B again or whatever.
I actually
from that
deal
last
with
one?
ocean containers.
Oh.
Like you can't. No.
You would not want to travel by ocean container. No. Have fun sitting on a dock for 6 months.
Yes.
And being dead as you're
It
cooked
takes-
alive.
It takes weeks. Good. Again, that's one of my broken disbelief.
Yeah.
Shipping containers, radios. What was the first one? Gravity.
Oh, gravity hasn't mattered to these movies
No.
in how long?
It doesn't.
Oh my god. Again,
I guess that
in
would be more
space.
like surface tension, friction, friction stopping a ball. Look, I don't.
Plane crash ending and predictions.
Yeah.
So yes, this movie did end with a to be continued, very much of a cliffhanger. Dom and Little B standing at the bottom of a dam that's about to explode with a bazillion bombs on top, where the Joker is standing laughing maniacally because he planned everything. Somehow he planned everything to end up exactly how it is right there now, which is again why I think he's the Joker, but also why I think it's just terrible writing, because
It is terrible, right?
so many of those things were such by chance happenings.
Yes.
Random, like, no, unless, no, or just not even gonna go there.
There was like a 15-mile car chase where you were literally straight up trying to kill this guy.
Yeah.
And he arrives at a destination, and you're like, great, just where I wanted you.
I just happen to have booby traps everywhere you could have gone.
So much
in
bullshit.
Yeah.
So much bullshit.
Yeah. So that was fun. That's also where you found out that, what's his name? Ames?
Yeah.
Jack Reacher, or whatever. Is that him?
Is it Jack?
Yeah.
I think so.
Jack Reacher?
Reacher.
Big dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. Raphael from the newest Ninja Turtle movies.
Is he?
He was Raphael in the Bay movies.
Good God.
Yeah.
Guy's a monster.
Yeah, he's humongous.
Ames.
Yeah, so Ames took over. We thought he was a good guy the whole movie, but wasn't.
Couldn't care.
So he shoots down the plane that has the B team in it, which is, again, Tej and Roman, Han, and Ramsey. So their plane, we see it go around a mountain, and then big boom, big fire, but we don't actually see what happens.
Well, the next movie should start.
Yeah, they imply that everyone died. So like half the cast died in like the last 5 minutes of the movie, and then now Dom and Little B are about to get just murdered. That's how this movie ends.
Yeah.
There's two ways the next movie could start. There's one way that could be a giant FU to the audience.
It should. It probably won't, but it will probably start with Diesel doing something, and then we'll cut to previously.
I think it'll start with the plane.
See,
The guy's on the plane going, holy shit, we got to get in this car, and driving out just as the fire hits it. And then
I think Vin Diesel's ego won't allow that, but it should, if I were writing it, should start with the plane and all of those vehicles that they just unstrap and drive out the back of the plane as it crashes into a
and
mountain.
they're going to come right around the mountain and rescue Vin Diesel and Little B
Somehow.
and outdrive the big wall of water that
Somehow.
comes out the dam somehow. Yes.
Yes.
Because one of those vehicles is also a boat. Or
A big asterisk on that somehow.
yeah. The other way I think it could happen is it'll be a giant FU. So when everyone split up in the movie, Shaw went off to rescue his mom, who was also being targeted. I think the movie could start with, here's what Shaw did, and we won't even get to Vin Diesel till like half an hour into the movie.
That'd be great if it were written by somebody else.
Yeah. Who knew how to write good movies?
Is that all of it? Is that all the bullet points?
I think that was pretty much the only thing left to talk about was a submarine at the end of the movie. Cipher suddenly has a submarine, and she has Giselle, who is alive. I think Mr. Nobody's on the submarine also.
Probably.
Recovering from the plane crash they never found him from, because again, I think shooting schedule he was like, I can't be in the movie anymore. Oh, okay. Well, we can't find him. The plane crashed. We don't know where he went. Where'd he go? We don't know.
Other things.
Yeah. I gotta be in Guardians of the Galaxy. Or
He's effectively Nick Fury.
yeah. He is like that universe's Nick Fury. Maybe he'll have an eye patch in the next movie.
So much like Flash, which we said was good. You should watch it, and then pointed out the things that we didn't like.
Yeah.
This we're saying is
It's not good.
it's not good, but it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna generally recommend watching it,
It helps if you've seen all of them, though.
even though
And
it's
this one, it definitely helps if you've seen the 5th one.
yes, crucially.
Yes, very much so.
And if you've skipped a bunch like me, then you're not gonna understand the whole nobody plot line.
Yeah, nope. You won't even get where he. Oh, that was.
But it's entertaining.
It is entertaining, and I look forward to seeing the next one so I can see if our predictions come true, which they probably will. Our predictions about the Flash all came true. We're pretty good at that.
I'd recommend watching it in a group though,
Oh yes,
not alone.
possibly like with some alcohol involved.
Oh yes, for
Anything
certain.
else you can get your hands on, have a good time, and ignore the fact that this movie should not be taken seriously. No. But comedy of the year, yes. I
Maybe.
dig it.
Maybe.
So, this has been another episode. Void City Reviews. Is it good? This was Fast X or Fast and Furious 10. Is it good? Nope.
No.
Go see it anyways. Have fun. Take a shot every time Vin Diesel gets in a car accident and is completely unscathed.
Oh god.
Don't do that though, because I don't want anyone to go to the hospital with alcohol poisoning
But it's not just car accidents.
22
It's-
minutes into the movie.
It's jumping through the air.
Just really anything that
Yeah.
can happen.
It's another movie in the can.
So you guys should tell us some like good movies to go see. You know,